Hey everybody, who wants some happy news? Who wants to do the happy news dance with me? Guess what? You ready? Are you ready for this? Guess what state just turned red?
Greeting Joe Biden as his barricade rolls through their location. This is why I'm saying Hawaii just turned deep red. They saw this administration already allocate money to Ukraine while being forgotten about. And you know, classic Joe Biden always makes things about himself. As the people of Lahaina sat there and lost everything, Joe Biden starts talking about what he almost lost. His house, his wife, his kids, his 67 vet, as he laughs and says that. The people of Maui don't give a shit about what the fuck you almost lost. Joe does this every time. Do y'all remember what he said to one of the Gold Star wives from our soldiers coming back from Afghanistan after that debacle? I know what you're going through. My son also came home in a flag-draped coffin, which is a fucking lie. But it wasn't that for me, One Love. It was that he was falling asleep yesterday during the memorial there in Hawaii. He deserved better.
To all my friends, to all my Polynesians, to all my people from Maui, I want you guys to know Trump's behind you. He supports you guys, all right?
So folks, that is amazing news. Look, we all knew what was happening on Maui, especially the Lahaina area. Like, you just couldn't keep voting for these people. What I found was that the government decided they were going to rezone everything, right? They were going to make a new community. And in doing so, create another governmental body to oversee the rebuilding of Lahaina. Now, in doing so, they're giving themselves broad permission to step outside of constitutional rights like eminent domain, taking land from you and, well, giving it to my neighbor. Basically, the people that built this monstrosity along the coastline would be over the rebuilding of Lahaina. Can you imagine what they would do with it if you look at this picture? I mean, they're like just trampling constitutional rights left and right. Now what we're dealing with, so close to the mission trip, right? We're flying out August 1st, not coming home till August 13th. What we're seeing right now is Mayor Bisson coming in and basically saying, well, if you had property this close to the ocean, kiss it goodbye. So bye. Bye. It doesn't matter if it's heritage land. It doesn't matter if it was your business or your personal home. Because of environmental concerns, you need to let it go. You know, play ball, because climate change is real. And, you know, in about 300 years, the ocean might swallow up your property. So we're not going to let you rebuild.
These are satellite pictures of Lahaina's shoreline south of the harbor. The red line is a new erosion hazard line the mayor's office says is nearly approved. It's based on estimates of a 3-foot sea level rise, and it cuts right through some established but burned out neighborhoods. The question is how the new rule will affect those homeowners and businesses when they were built.
That existed on the income from our buildings. And then we had over 20 stores, and those 20 stores had multiple employees.
The county said it will assist property owners conform to the existing and new special management area rules. The 3.2-foot sea level rise was mapped by the University of Hawaii School of Ocean and Earth Science. Dean Chip Fletcher said properties inside the line will face increasing threats from both the ocean and rising groundwater, which has already begun to retake places like this underground garage on Front Street.
More areas will be exposed to that flooding. And when it rains, the flooding will be huge. You'll have very widespread flooding because it can't soak into the ground. And the drainage system of gutters and pipes, which are based on gravity, those won't work either because the sea level is right up, filling up those pipes.
At the same time, the mayor's office says it intends to approve the shoreline rules. Mayor Bisson is also proposing making rebuilding much easier for people whose homes or businesses were built before current codes, as long as they rebuild in the same way. Bill 105 was just sent to the Maui Council. It allows reconstruction of non-conforming structures into burn zone that can be finished in 4 years, provided that they are in compliance with existing building, fire, and flood safety requirements, and the owner can document what the structure was. That's doable.
Now, guys, we're leaving, right? We're almost out of time. If you're going to support the fire victims with your $1, with your 100, with your 1,000, we need you to go ahead and do that. I'm going to pin in comments the different ways you can donate to the fire victims and or to the mission trip. It's your choice. Earmark it. However, if you do that, I'm going to give you 6 months free of our newsletter, which is 12 issues. It's going to be sent to your email, okay, on the 1st and 15th of every single month. So make sure you add your email address if you Cash App or one of those, right? Because I'm not going to have access to your email account otherwise. But my thing that's like so mind-blowing to me is the ignorancy and the control of the Democrat Party in Hawaii. Now, I know it's like that in California and other Democrat-led cities, but it's just like, ugh, how can people live like this? You guys heard him, right? The expert. Like, the existing gravity-fed drainage system can't handle it. Well, what was it doing prior to the fire? It was handling it. This is a land grab, if I have ever seen it, folks. And it doesn't ever seem to get better, okay? So a lot of you know I sat in with the lady, Michelle, that wrote the Great Maui Land Grab book. I sat in on a farming discussion, right? A lovely lady that lives on the Big Island sent me some updated information that you're not going to hear anywhere but here. The Honolulu, now this is the Big Island, City Council Bill 64 will destroy agricultural living, especially for small farmers and operators. So Bill 64, which was formerly Bill 10, will fundamentally and irreversibly change our traditional way of life. Here are just a few of the overreaching aspects that all owners or residents of ag or country zoned lots need to be aware of. Say goodbye to your horses, livestock, and your local feed stores. Keeping horses and other animals will be prohibited on zone lots smaller than 3 acres. This includes cattle, sheep, goats, chickens, birds, rabbits, and more. All right, boarding facilities will be forced to permanently close. Bill 64 will prohibit keeping birds, chickens, and other poultry on zone lots of less than 3 acres. What irritates me is I'm on 2 acres. 2 acres here, folks. I have a quarter acre market garden, anywhere from 20 to 100 rabbits, depending on breeding and butchering, and anywhere from 18 to 26 chickens at all times. My property is not overcrowded. Look at this. There's no odor. The animals are not out in the broiling sun miserable. Everything's in its proper place. Look at that. Look how beautiful this property is. If I lived on any of the Hawaiian Islands, I would no longer be able to make the money that I make. Because, folks, I make as much money on my property as my husband does with his full-time job. I do educational tours. I do classes. I grow and sell vegetables. I sell rabbits. I sell chickens. I mean, like you would literally, I sell compost, worm castings, biochar. You would kill half of my income if I lived on Hawaii, simply because I was an acre too short. You can be evicted from your own home. Yeah, you heard me right. Bill 64 will require a 51% use dedication to justify living in your own house, regardless of whether all of your land is suited for ag or not. You could be prohibited from using your large land for gatherings and celebrations. making it harder for mom and pop farm stands. No electricity or water or sewer will be allowed at farm stands, resulting in obvious hygiene, health, and safety issues. How does that fit with FSMA? Now, if you're a farmer, you already know what FSMA is. FSMA is a Food Safety Modernization Act. It's an Obama-era tome of knowledge that got pushed back during the 2020 COVID nonsense, and now it's trickling down. But it's Obama era. That's how long it takes the federal government, its wheels to turn out and churn out its new laws. And it's all about food and safety, right? Which means these farm stands will literally end up running into federal regulations and will be shut down because they do not have proper sanitary hand washing going on at their farm stands because the state won't allow it. Folks, this is not a joke. If you live on the Hawaiian Islands, listen to Sam now. They are unconstitutionally taking your rights bit by bit. And I'm going to tell you what, the Hawaiian indigenous people may have turned red, but the rest of that state is still deep blue. And that's because the rich liberals keep coming and buying up your land, putting their people in office. What you guys are going to have to do is what Michelle sent me today. She sent me this in an email. Everybody can help them fight, but it looks like they're going to have to go all the way with this. They're going to have to file a court case against the state, in federal court and try to stop them. The Hawaiian state elected officials are out of flipping control. Now, we're going to be doing some amazing stuff when we're on Maui. One is working on farms. One of the things we're going to be doing is going to some of the memorial services and stuff that they're going to be having on the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th. Guys, I really pray that you row in our boat for this. This is a big deal. We're going to be speaking to the king. There's a lot of new people tuning into us for different videos I've done lately. But I'm going to tell you what, this is the most important thing I will do this year, other than the fact that I just finished my book. Yay! So I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video.
To honor both what occurred for the folks in Kula as well as in Lahaina. So the remembrance on the 8th is, that day is going to start with a paddle out at Hanaka'o Beach. And that's in Lahaina, of course. And then we'll be up in Kula for an event at 11. And then we'll be back into Lahaina for an event for the families there that lost their family members, their homes, their community. And that's Friday. We have events planned for Kupuna. We also have the Kamehameha Schools folks, students that are coming in on Saturday. They'll be performing at the Baldwin High School Auditorium. That's at 1 o'clock. They'll be doing the Kamalu Ulu Olele production that they did earlier. They're coming back for repeat performance. There'll be an Oban Festival out in Lahaina that evening. And then on Sunday, we'll have some spiritual services for those churches and those temples that were burned. We'll have a combined message and spiritual event with them. And then we're going to close out up at the Oski Rice Arena in Makawao. Those are the folks that took in all of the animals and pets that were threatened by the Kula fires. So that's where we're going to end the event. There are a total of 9 events. And on Friday, there's also going to be a concert, music of Lahaina songs with Lahaina folks. And again, these are all open to the public.